Can you retire a millionaire on a low income? The answer is absolutely, positively, 100% yes. However, the problem that most people have is that they don't understand how. They don't understand that there's actually a very realistic formula to retire a millionaire on any income. So in this video, I'm hoping that I can show you how, because all it really takes is education, a plan, and action. And in this video, I'm going to give you the education and the plan on how to retire a millionaire on a low income, but it's completely up to you to put it into action. And so I'm going to walk you through 7 different steps that will allow you to retire a millionaire on any income. And it's all timestamped below, but it all starts with step 1, understand compound interest. So let's begin with the education. It's important to understand that you won't retire a millionaire by working hard. Now, let me repeat that because this is the most important concept of this video. You won't retire a millionaire by working hard. 99% of people that become millionaires don't get there by working hard and picking up extra shifts. No, they get there through a concept called compound interest. And this is how compound interest works. Let's say at age 20, you invest $10,000 in the stock market with an average return of 10% a year. The first year, your investment will earn $1,000 because 10% of $10,000 is $1,000. The second year, on the other hand, you will earn $1,100 in interest because you'll get interest off that original $10,000, but you'll also get interest off your interest from last year. So your investment is now worth $12,100. And over time, this trend continues and compounds and eventually grows exponentially. And by the time you reach the ripe age of 65, that $10,000 investment that you made when you were 20 is now worth $728,904.84. Albert Einstein called compound interest the 8th wonder of the world. As I said, you won't retire a millionaire by working hard. You will retire a millionaire by getting your money to work hard. The truth for most people in this world is that the only way that they're going to retire a millionaire is through compound interest. And so you have to get your money to work for you and grow it through compound interest. So let's talk about how we do that with step 2, invest in index funds. So now that we understand compound interest, let's talk about where we get that interest from. Because as I said, the stock market returns an average of 10% a year. Now, to get that interest, you need to invest in something called index funds, which basically means instead of buying one single company like Amazon and depending on their performance, you're buying a basket of 500 companies under one ticker symbol, and you're depending on the results of those 500 companies. And some companies will do bad, while others will do well. But the average of those 500 companies will usually average out to 10% of the year. And here's a list of some of the most popular index funds on the market right now. And I'm not going to go in great detail on index funds because I made a video up here. But if you want to retire a millionaire, your surest path, and there are no guarantees with the stock market, but your surest path is with index funds. Because over the last 100 years, the stock market has always gone up. And although it's slow in the beginning, remember how compound interest works. The interest you gain will eventually overtake your contributions and increase exponentially. So now that we understand compound interest and how to put it in action by investing in index funds, let's talk about where we need to put that money with step 3, the sequence of investing. Congratulations! We have completed our basic education of understanding compound interest and investing in index funds. And now let's talk about the plan. When it comes to preparing for retirement, there are multiple accounts like a 401k or 403b, a Roth IRA, and a brokerage account. And in order to get the most bang for your buck, there is a certain sequence that you should follow. And I'm going to try to keep this as simple as I possibly can. But I go in a bit more detail in this video right here. But our first step in this sequence is to match the maximum amount of your employer-sponsored 401k plan. So for example, if your employer offers a 401k plan with a 6% match, you should contribute 6%. And we do this because this is basically free money from your employer. The second step in our sequence is to maximize your Roth IRA contribution. And we do this because the interest you earn in a Roth IRA is not taxed. So in that $10,000 investment we spoke about earlier, the interest you gained, which is $718,904, is tax-free. We do this quickly after the match because this is the most tax-advantaged account, and the current contribution limits for a Roth IRA in 2023 are $6,500 if you're under 50 and $7,500 if you're over 50. Now, if you're extremely ambitious and you did your employer 401k match and you maxed out your Roth IRA, the third step is to go back to your 401k and try to max that out. And we do this because it's a pre-tax investment, so your money goes further. In the current yearly contribution to a 401k in 2023 is $22,500. Finally, if you're a complete baller and have done all that, the fourth step is just to invest in a normal brokerage account. And we do this because it still gains interest. And that's the sequence that will give you the biggest bang for your buck. So now let's talk about hard numbers in step 4. How much money you need to invest a month to retire a millionaire. Now, what I'm about to tell you could either be good news or bad news, but regardless, it's important to remind yourself that doing something is better than doing nothing. If you have $0 invested in your retirement right now, this is how much money you need to invest consistently each month, depending on your age. And I want to point out that the reason a 20-year-old and a 55-year-old's contributions are drastically different is because the more time your money has to grow, the more exponential it becomes. For example, if we look back at that $10,000 investment, it didn't reach that exponential curve until about year 25. And I understand that this could be very discouraging for some people, but there's a quote that goes, "The best time to plant a tree was 30 years ago. The second best time is now." Maybe retiring a millionaire is unrealistic for you, but doing something is a lot better than doing nothing. Even if you just invest $100 a month, it's better than not investing anything at all. But let's strive to reach that number. With step 5, find ways to increase your investment rate. So I'm going to pull up that list again of how much money that you need to invest consistently each month to retire a millionaire. And remember that these numbers are starting from 0. And take a look of how much money you need to invest. And depending on how much money you make, coming up with that amount of money could seem unrealistic. However, I believe that there are areas of everybody's budget that could be lowered or completely cut out. And if you're savvy with your money, coming up with extra money could be very realistic. And instead of explaining different ways that you can save money, I created a specific playlist right here of all the different videos I have made on saving money. And I think if you watch some of them, they can help you find areas of your budget to cut out or lower. And you can use that money to invest in your retirement. So now let's move on to step 6, be more aggressive when you're young, aka now. In the beginning of this video, I showed you the power of compound interest and how if you invested $10,000 at age 20, when you retire, it would grow to over $700,000. Whereas if you invested $10,000 at age 40, it would only grow to over $100,000 because the exponential growth happens in the end. And it's so important to understand that the reason it is so exponential is because it had over 45 years to grow. When you're young, you have time on your side and you should take advantage of that, because the more you invest right now, the more aggressive you are right now, the more time your money's going to have to grow and the less you're going to have to invest in the future. For example, I am 30 years old and I have over $65,000 invested that I don't plan on spending. And I still have 35 years until I reach retirement age. And if I do nothing else with that money except just invest it, by the time I reach retirement age, that money will be worth $1,826,658.40. And even though I'm not making tons of money right now, I'm prioritizing contributing to my Roth IRA because I understand the more I invest now, the less I need to invest later. And so you should be aggressive when you're young, aka now, because you'll never be younger than you are today. Because if we go back to that contribution chart, as you get older, the contributions become exponentially more difficult and more unrealistic to reach $1 million. And I want to finish this video with my call to action. Step 7, stop putting it off and start today. Congratulations, and you are the graduating class of L. Augustine's How to Retire a Millionaire on a Low Income in my Low Income series playlist right here, because we've covered the education of compound interest and index investing. We've covered our plan of the sequence of investing, how much money you need, how to increase savings, and the advantage of time. And that is all I can do for you, because you, and only you, can put it in action. Every day you put this off is one less day your money has time to compound. Because as I'm repeating over and over and over again, the more time your money has to compound, the more exponentially it grows. And so the clock is ticking. Stop putting this off. Take action so that once you reach the age of retirement, you can retire a millionaire, or at least with something, because something is always better than nothing. And action is always better than no action. And with that, muchas gracias. Que tengan un buen día. Video 142. Nos vemos, chicos.